Yo, what's up? This is Minda, and this is my start of the second week of the Calgary Barbell 8-week program. As you can see, there's my dog. His name is Sakai. We named him after the main character in the game Ghost of Tsushima, so you'll be seeing him around. So today's squat workout is 4 sets of 3 at 310 and 2 sets of 5 at 265. So I'm starting to film my warm-ups now, just to have showcase of how I warm up. So I started with the bar, but then I started to record at 135. 135 felt really good. I think it's because I ate Domino's a couple days ago and carbs really helps. And 225 felt really good as well. I usually don't do too many reps for warm up. I usually do some third world squats, some hip openers, right? Some glute bridges with bands to activate the different muscles before I start squatting. But with the warm ups itself, I don't overexert on the sets before my working set. This is 275. Those 2 sets went very well. I mean, those 2 reps. And now here's 310, the first set.
Hey. Easy.
As you can see, it went pretty well. In the background is my girlfriend playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. We're both fans of playing video games, and I've been playing, and she's been playing Pokemon as well. So now it's the second set, and from now on, squats felt all really good on these 4 sets. I think the fourth set I start to feel the reps going a bit slower, but that's normal, right? So what I want to talk about today is, I think first, fatigue management. So I think especially with squats, depending on whether or not I am recovered, like my muscles or just my overall body, squats can feel really shitty one day and feel really good the other day, right? Like, for example, this workout, my squats felt pretty good. But on some other days, my squat could be moving super slow at 310 or even 300, right? Or usually like slower than usual. So I think that's because of, adequate recovery is not there. I do sleep enough. I sleep from 8 to 11 hours now because it's December. I have more time, and I eat around maintenance calories. And I think calories has to do with it. If I eat a little bit over maintenance for a few days, my workouts are usually a lot easier, or the weights don't feel as hard to deal with. And I think this is especially true with squat and bench press. With deadlift, I think if I'm on a cut, I can grind through my deadlifts reps. But with squats and bench, if I don't eat enough calories, it's going to be affected, right? And I think eating enough really helps with recovery and fatigue management, right? I think it speeds up the recovery for how much work you're doing. But I think depending on what program you're doing and how much work you're doing in the program, in whichever program you're doing, I think the other aspect that I personally have experienced is overdoing it, right? So, like I said, I was doing Smolov, squat, and bench junior a couple weeks ago, trying to really get my squat up, but not even finishing the first week, I was already feeling like my muscles can take it, but my body can't take it. It's just way too much, right? And doing it that way, it's not good mentally because you hate squatting, right? And you might be doing so much volume that you're not able to recover, and you might get injured, and then that will take longer to recover. So you are back to square one, if not worse, right? I think you should try a high volume squat program like that if your squat's been stuck for a while. After looking at your form, Squatting. If you're only squatting once a week, try squatting twice a week or 3 times a week, and then try something like small up. And I think you might be able to do it, right? If you leave your training max low enough. I think for bench, it's the same thing applies, right? Try benching twice a week or 3 times, and then try 4 times with small up if you really think that it will really help you. And if you tried everything else, right? I wouldn't go to small up for like, just I'm squatting and benching once a week and things are not going up. I'm not eating enough. Let's try it. No, right? That's not very smart. You will crack doing these two programs. So that's why I like Calgary Barbell 8-week program so far a lot, because it's a lot of bench volume, right? But I think especially with bench, it's easier to recover from, and the frequent volume for me, and I think a lot of people, they need more than 2 days bench for bench to even maintain or go up. So I really like benching 4 times a week, and it could be somewhere from 3 sets to like 10 sets. I think on each workout, but I think it's at a low enough intensity and manageable overall reps and volume that it usually works if you're doing the right thing in terms of eating enough and really trying to get enough sleep. I think squats also, because you're squatting 3 times a week, but the squat volume is really light. Like, I think you're only doing a couple sets or a few sets on the day that you deadlift, which I like squatting after you deadlift to get more volume in. And then, the main squat day today was only, was it 6 sets, right? Of not extremely high intensity. And I think the pause squats also help, right? Because on small love, you can't really do any pause squats. This is just normal squats, right? So your technique might fly out the window, and you might be able to hit a weight that you weren't able to hit a month ago, but your technique is worse, right? And technique matters, especially in the long run. So what you've been seeing is me doing 5 sets of 3 of 230 pause bench, comp pause bench. And then I did 3 sets of 195 at 3x5. But as you can see, I did 1 set of bench, and I did the RDLs in the program. They're SLDLs, right? But I changed them for RDLs. 4 sets of 8 this week instead of 4 sets of 9. I'm doing them at 205 for a RP cap of 8, and I'm pretty much a hit RP 7 or 8, so it's good. And I really don't go too low on these RDLs, because if I go lower, my lower back starts around. I think my hamstring flexibility is not that great. So, but I really feel my hamstrings and even my glutes doing this. And I remember a period of time where I first started doing RDLs. I felt it a lot in my lower back, right? And I was doing around the same weight that I was doing a year, like 2 years ago, when I first started doing RDLs on like a weekly basis, and that was not the way you do it, right? You have to do it so you can feel your hamstrings, and your lower back taking over really is not a good thing in RDLs. So I did 3 of these bench sets of 195. I didn't film 1 set, so this is actually the 3rd set. So I really like these back off sets, right? For squat and for bench and for deadlift, where you do a few sets of the heavier weight and then you do a few sets of the lighter weight to get more volume in. But I also like these RDOs. I think I've always done RDOs on and off for like a few weeks, but I've never done them long term. So I like that there's some sort of, I guess, how do you say it, hamstring focus or glute focused deadlift variation in this program, at least in the first 4 weeks. And RDLs are just a great exercise, right? It helps with squats, low bar, especially. It helps with your conventional deadlift and sumo deadlift, right? Because it works your glutes and hamstrings, which are important muscles in all 3 of those lifts, right? They're not as fatiguing on your CNS, and it really helps with maintaining back tension and making sure that you keep your back flat on the deadlift. But yeah, I'm a big fan of focusing on frequency while lifting weights, but not too much volume in one day. I think this is especially true with like squat and deadlift. I've realized that for me, especially deadlifting once a week, it's not enough, right? In terms of practicing the form and just getting in enough volume, right? I think yes, you can be okay with deadlifting once a week, but I think if you're like a beginner or even intermediate, you can get away with deadlifting twice a week at least, right? One heavy day, one light day, and the light day can be some sort of variation. Could be your opposite stance. It could be RDLs, right? A second day of deadlift that's RDLs is not gonna affect your recovery as much as a second day of even light normal deadlifts, right? And I think being able to work on some sort of deadlift motion that mimics the regular deadlift that you're pulling, or the same muscles, right? Or however, is really going to help bring your deadlift up. I think the same can be said with squats and bench, right? The more you practice it, the better you can get at it, and then spreading the work out across multiple days can really help with recovery. And I also don't like doing really super intense squats once a week, or once a week deadlift, right? Very intense deadlifts, and then calling it done for the whole week, right? I like spreading it out and reminding myself what these lifts feel like, right? How to brace, right? Practicing bracing, practicing forms, thinking about the cues and everything, and rather than doing it one time a week and worrying about it 7 days later, right? And last workout, I remember I did pause deadlifts, right? 4x4, I think, and I also did some one arm dumbbell rows for 6 sets of 10. And the day after, my sides of my core were like very sore, so I think that really hit my core a lot. Also, I think the pause deadlifts, but I'm feeling my muscles being worked in ways I haven't felt in a while doing this program. And for the workout on this day, I really like the inclusion of these side planks. And I think if you're doing this program, I would not skip these side planks, because one, I feel the asymmetry where one side is stronger than the other side. I forgot which side I'm stronger in, but I think this is a great exercise to teach each side of your core how to brace isometrically. And I think that's very valuable with an exercise like deadlifts. And by the way, in the video I'm talking to my girlfriend in there. It's just muted for the most part. But yeah, if you're doing this program, keep these side planks in. And I think in terms of accessories, I wouldn't add too many that are too fatiguing. Like I added some face pulls, some curls, some chin-ups and pull-ups. And I think that's okay, right? And then some hip thrusts if you feel like glute work is not enough in this program. I think you can also add some back work, but I wouldn't add too much because there's already some back work on days 2 and 4. So I think if you're doing this program, do it as is and adjust with maybe adding some isolation work if you feel like you're good with recovery and you're making enough progress. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I like talking about just different parts of my workout and my life. So thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.